Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Pharmaceutical Concepts. Our today's question is isoabsorptive point means. Is it a point at which two bonds give same peak? Is it a point at which two compounds absorb UV light? Or is it a point at which two atoms have same precessional frequency or none of the above? Let us see. Now, where we have learned this term isoabsorptive point. Okay, iso means same. Okay, same or similar absorptivity. Hmm? Absorptivity is what? Absorptivity is ability of that particular molecule, okay, by which it can absorb the UV radiations. Okay, so it is same absorptivity of two molecules, that is isoabsorptive point. Means it is a wavelength. Same absorptivity means what? Means those two molecules will give same absorbance, okay, at a particular wavelength, okay, and that wavelength is the isoabsorptive point. This wavelength is called as isoabsorptive point, okay, and this we are talking with respect to UV spectroscopy. Okay, so the first point which is talking about two bonds, so this is more of related to IR, where the bond maybe the vibrational frequency, rotational frequency, everything we learn with respect to bonds, okay, in IR spectroscopy. This point is related to UV, but this point says that at a point at which two compounds absorb UV light. So according to me, this is also not the correct answer, because see, if you have this UV spectrum, which is absorbance versus wavelength, okay, this is a peak of compound A and this is a peak of compound B. Okay, so this point means this wavelength, okay, at which both the compounds give same absorbance, so this wavelength is called as isoabsorptive wavelength. But what this point is saying, second point, a compound at which two compounds absorb UV light, okay, UV light they are absorbing here also, see here also both are absorbing UV light, here also both are absorbing UV light, okay, but that is not the isoabsorptive point. Isoabsorptive point is both the compounds, they have same absorptivity, they have same absorbance, that wavelength is called as isoabsorptive point. And third point, third option is about the precessional frequency. This precessional frequency we come across in NMR. Okay, so according to me, none of the above is the correct option for this particular answer. Next question is, DSC belongs to which kind of analytical method? Is it spectroscopy, thermal, hyphenated, or chromatography? Okay, so spectroscopy means what? Spectroscopy means radiations from electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so electromagnetic spectrum which starts from X-ray, gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, visible rays, IR radiation, then microwaves, okay, and then so on, microwaves, radio waves. Okay, so these radiations, using these radiations, when we analyze the sample, suppose this sample is in this particular sample holder, UV radiations I am passing through this sample and that sample absorbs UV radiation. Okay, so that absorbance is giving me some idea about the maybe quality, that is identification of the sample, or the concentration, that is quantitative analysis. So such study comes under spectroscopy. Okay, for in case of NMR spectroscopy we use radio waves. Okay, we use radio waves. These radio waves pass through the sample and we understand the information about the nucleus, that is C13 nucleus, 1H nucleus, fluorine nucleus, everything. In IR spectroscopy we understand the functional groups, various functional groups which are present in the particular structure. Okay, that is called as spectroscopy. So DSC doesn't come under this. Next we have thermal analysis. Thermal analysis includes or studies properties of materials as these properties change with temperature. Okay, then we have hyphenated techniques, which is combination of two different analytical techniques with the help of proper interface. So two different analytical techniques means what? For example, LCMS. Here I am combining two techniques, liquid chromatography. So chromatography here combined with mass spectroscopy. So chromatography combined with mass spectroscopy. GCMS, again gas chromatography combined with mass spectroscopy. Okay, these are called as hyphenated techniques. Again, the tandem mass spectroscopy, MSMS, that comes under this hyphenated category. Again, very advanced instruments, they are LCMS-MS. So two mass spectrometers, one with softer ionization techniques, one with harsh ionization techniques. Okay, so everything we are doing for identifying the compound, for understanding their quantity in the given sample. Okay, so again in hyphenated technique, DSC is not included. Next is chromatography. We all know chromatography is the separation and identification technique using stationary phase and mobile phase. So DSC is not coming here. DSC is differential scanning calorimetry. Okay, and this differential scanning calorimetry comes under thermal analysis, which measures heat absorbed or liberated during heating or cooling. Now under this thermal analysis there are many other techniques, many other methods which we study during our course, that is differential thermal analysis. Okay, this is used for thermal investigation where thermal change can be observed and characterized. Then we have thermal gravimetric analysis, which measures change in weight of the substance of the sample during heating or cooling. Then we have thermomechanical analysis, TMA, which measures change in dimensions of the sample during heating or cooling. So by measuring all these changes happening in the sample because of heat, because of temperature, okay, by measuring these properties we can identify the sample, or we can understand the maybe quantity of the sample. Okay, other than these there are many other techniques like thermo optical analysis, laser flash analysis, evolved gas analysis, then there is something called as dynamic mechanical analysis. Okay, dielectric thermal analysis, but all those methods we can study only when we enter in the core expertise of the thermal analysis. For time being, for this stage, only these many techniques are sufficient for us to know. Okay, so here the answer is thermal. DSC, that is differential scanning calorimetry, belongs to thermal analytical method. In NMR, dash number of peaks will be observed for 1,4-dioxane. So for this, let us first draw the structure of 1,4-dioxane. Okay, so 1,4-dioxane. This is 1,4-dioxane. Okay, di, no? Di means 2. Di means 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens. So those 2 oxygens are at 1 and 4 position. If I draw this structure like this, then it will become 1,2-dioxane. Okay, this is 1,2-dioxane. If I draw the structure like this, then that will become 1,3-dioxane or meta-dioxane. Okay, so now this is 1,4-dioxane. So it has carbon here. Okay, 2 hydrogens here, 2 hydrogens here, 2 hydrogens here, and 2 hydrogens here. Okay, now this CH2 has adjacent oxygen. Even this CH2 has adjacent oxygen, and both of them have CH2 on adjacent sides. Okay, again this CH2 same, it has oxygen on this side, even this CH2 has oxygen on this side, and they both are adjacent to each other. So here these 2, 2, 2 and 2, So these 8 hydrogens are present in same chemical environment. So we can say that all these 8 hydrogens are chemically equivalent, and thus they all 8 hydrogens will appear at the same position in NMR spectrum, and thus there will be only one peak in the NMR spectrum of this structure. So answer is A1. Which of the following is correct NMR data for CH3COOC2H5? Okay, so in the options NMR data is given. You can see delta value is given. Okay, multiplicity is given, and number of hydrogens which give that particular peak, that data is provided. So let us see. This is CH3 COOC2H5 is the structure. So let us see, this is, these 3 hydrogens will give one peak. See the details of this chemical equivalency and the number of signals for any particular structure, those details I have covered in the separate video on 1H NMR spectroscopy. So here let me write this structure as CH2CH3. Okay, so this CH2 protons will appear as one peak and CH3 protons will appear as third peak. Okay, so there will be 3 peaks for this particular structure, 3 peaks for 3 sets of hydrogens. This is one set, this is second set of CH2 and third set of CH3. This C2H5 I have written as CH2-CH3. Okay, so 3 peaks. So this option is giving me 1 2 3 peaks. This option is giving me 2 peaks. So as such this data is not going, because we will be having 3 peaks. So option B is gone. 1 2 3 peaks and none of the above. So we have to check whether among these two, A and C, what is the correct option. So let us see the multiplicity here. Multiplicity of HA will be singlet. Why singlet? Because it, on adjacent carbon there is no hydrogen. Multiplicity of CH2 will be quartet. Okay, why? Because CH2 has 3 hydrogens here on the adjacent carbon. So 3 plus 1 4. So quartet, 1 2 3 4, quartet will be the multiplicity. And CH3 has these 2 hydrogens on the adjacent carbon. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. It will be triplet. Okay, 1 2 3. So we need singlet, quartet and triplet given. So let us see. Singlet, no, no, no. So let us see here. Singlet, quartet and triplet is in third option, that is C option. So C is the correct answer. I repeat here, if you want to understand more about the number of peaks, how I have decided this singlet, how I have reached to this answer, please watch the detailed video on 1H NMR spectroscopy, which is there on my channel in the playlist of 1H NMR spectroscopy. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe the channel and spread a word. Please click the bell icon for the more videos on the related topics. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay tuned to my channel. Bye.